Welcome, Brain Science presents How to Read People with Different Background on 2022. This tips help you to know different attitude and behavior of different people. This video elaborate on how to study human behavior and everything about human psychology. When you understand how another person is feeling, you can then adapt your message and communication style to make sure it is received in the best way possible. It's not that hard. This may sound cliché, but you don't need any special powers to know how to read people. So, here are some tips for reading people like a pro. Be objective and open-minded. Help in understanding phases of human. Before you attempt to read people, you must first practice having an open mind. Do not let your emotions and past experiences influence your impressions and opinions. If you judge people easily, it will cause you to misread people. Be objective in approaching every interaction and situation. According to research in psychology today, logic alone won't tell you the whole story about anybody. You must surrender to other vital forms of information so that you can learn to read the important nonverbal and intuitive cues that people give off. She says that to see someone clearly you must remain objective and receive information neutrally without distorting it. Your psychological perceptive abilities is a way to study people. The following presents you with a series of categorized signals that you must become aware of while communicating or interacting with another person. Each signal has a specific and definite meaning that will reveal a world of information about others. Unlocking these signals will enable you to gather the necessary information you need in order to win this person over to your way of thinking. In the beginning, this can be a rather overwhelming process that requires concentrated effort, questioning and careful observation. It is very difficult to pick up on everything right from the onset. However, you must keep in mind that this is a journey of discovery that you will progressively learn from and improve upon over time. You should, therefore, begin by paying attention to only a few of these signals and variables. As you grow in proficiency, you can include further additions to this recipe, up until the point you are able to unlock a person's hidden personality and motives in a matter of minutes. All the while as you attend to these signals, make sure that you are continuously and persistently isolating each variable and asking the identification questions, mentioned above, that will enable you to unlock each person's hidden motives. Needs and wants. Look at their clothing is a means of understanding how to study people. This is one strategy for reading people you're surely already using, even if just unconsciously. Look at the person's clothes. A 2009 study showed that we judge people's personality just based on appearance. And it turns out, we're usually quite spot on. Study participants looked at photographs of people they didn't know in natural, expressive poses. They accurately judged 9 out of 10 major personality traits, including extroversion, openness, likability, loneliness. Of course, this wasn't done solely based on clothes. Posture and facial expression played a big part, but even when the photo subjects were in a controlled pose with a neutral expression, the participants could still accurately judge some major personality traits. Pay attention to appearance is another means of reading people. Researchers says that when reading others, try to notice people's appearance. What are they wearing? Are they dressed for success, which indicates they are ambitious? Or they are wearing jeans and a t-shirt, which means comfort? Do they have a pendant such as a cross or Buddha, which indicates their spiritual values? Whatever they wear, you can sense something from it. When you understand how another person is feeling, you can then adapt your message and communication style to make sure it is received in the best way possible. It's not that hard. This may sound cliché, but you don't need any special powers to know how to read people. Another way to study people is trust your gut is another way to study people. If you want to read people, you might feel tempted to memorize lists of signs, like the cue clusters mentioned above. But obviously, you can't watch out for all the cues at once and still act remotely normal in a dialogue with someone. So what should you do? Don't worry about it. A University of Mannheim study shows, thinking too much reduces your ability to read people well. The study participants watched videos of honest and deceptive people. Right afterwards, half of them were asked to ponder who was trustworthy. The other half were distracted by a different task. The second group was significantly better at identifying who was honest. Another way is by interpreting one's face expression, unless you are a master of the poker face. Your emotions will be etched on your face. According to Judith Orloff M.D., there are several ways to interpret facial expressions. They are, when you see deep frown lines forming, it may suggest the person is worried or overthinking. On the contrary, a person who is truly laughing will show crow's feet, the smile lines of joy. Another thing to watch out for are pursed lips, which can signal anger, contempt, or bitterness. Additionally, a clenched jaw and teeth grinding are signs of tension. Also, Susan Krauss Whitborn Ph.D. in Psychology Today describes a classification of smiles in Psychology Today. They are, reward smile, lips pulled directly upwards, dimples at the sides of mouth and eyebrows lift. This communicates positive feedback. Affiliative smile involves pressing lips together while also making little dimples at the side of the mouth. Sign of friendship and liking. Dominant smile, upper lip is raised and cheeks get pushed upwards, the nose gets wrinkled, indentation between nose and mouth deepens and raised upper lids. Pay attention to eyes. They say our eyes are the doorway to our souls. They transmit powerful energies. So take the time to observe people's eyes. When you look, can you see a caring soul? Are they mean, angry, or guarded? According to Scientific American, eyes can convey whether we are lying or telling the truth. They can also serve as a good detector for what people like, by looking at pupil size. Observe the one's behavior is another way to study person. We sometimes assume that if a particular action is done, like looking down at the floor during a conversation, it means the person is nervous or anxious. But if you are already familiar with a person, you will know whether the person avoids eye contact or is just relaxing when he or she looks down the floor. According to Lorraine Kui, a former counterintelligence agent for the FBI, people have different quirks and patterns of behavior, and some of these behaviors could simply be mannerisms. That's why creating a baseline of others' normal behavior will help you learn how to identify any deviation from a person's usual behavior. You will know something is wrong when you notice a change in their tone, pace, or body language. Another one is listen for emotions in the voice. We just saw how facial expressions are useful for reading people, but not always accurate reflections of emotions. Well, that's where voice comes in. A recent study shows that our sense of hearing is much better at detecting emotion than seeing facial expressions. In fact, we are better at identifying emotion when we only listen to a person's voice than if we both listen to their voice and see their facial expressions. For example, quick breathing, clipped words, and many pauses could mean the person is anxious or upset. Slow, monotone speaking could show they are exhausted or sick. Quick, louder speech could mean they are excited. Further research shows that we correctly identify emotions in the voice even when the words being said have nothing to do with the emotion being expressed, and even if it's in a foreign language. Another study found that we can identify not only basic emotions in the voice, positive versus negative, or excited versus calm, but also fine nuances. Watch their physical movements is also a way of studying people. More than words, people express their feelings through movements. For example, we lean toward those we like and away from those we don't. If they're leaning in, if their hands are out and open, palms facing up, that's a good sign that they are connecting with you, says Evie Pumpuras, a former Secret Service special agent. If you have observed that the person is leaning away, it means he or she is putting up a wall. Another movement to notice is the crossing of arms or legs. If you see a person doing this, it suggests defensiveness, anger, or self-protection. Evie Pumpuras says that, if someone is leaning in and all of a sudden you say something and their arms crossed, now I know I said something that this person didn't like. On the other hand, hiding one's hands means that they are hiding something, but if you see them lip biting or cuticle picking, it means they are trying to soothe themselves under pressure or in an awkward situation. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure you subscribed, like, comment and share for more videos.